With the passing of Catherine O'Hara, my wife and I did what many people have been doing. We went back and revisited the Christopher Guest mockumentaries. And what I found out online after I rewatched them was that some people think Christopher Guest is really mean.
A soliloquy for every movie, from Casablanca, Tommy Boy. He's here, it's him, it's Andrew Toy. It's Andrew Toy.
And for the sake of ease, I'm just going to pick on one video in particular. This is by Too Many Tapes. The title of his film is The Complicated Cruelty of Christopher Guest, and he opens up by saying that there's a rift between Christopher Guest fans and critics, saying that some people see his films as celebrations of normal people trying to do something original and daring with their lives, and others see it in a different way, whereas Christopher Guest is just cruel and mean to his characters by not allowing them to achieve the dreams that they're shooting so hard for. And my stance, my 2 cents worth on that argument is very simple. I almost always enjoy when a movie has an unexpected ending where the bad guys win, the good guys lose. After I watched Infinity War for the first time, I said, this is where it needs to end. I think it's great that they were so bold and daring to kill off all the superheroes. What a great ending, because that is reality. And I celebrate reality in films. And you can't get any more realistic than a Christopher Guest mockumentary. And so yes, his characters are shooting for the stars, they're completely delusional about their talents, and they almost always end up falling flat on their faces in the end. And I could see the temptation of saying, oh, he's so cruel writing his characters so that they lose in the end. They don't get their dream job. They don't win that medal. But I think what's so creative about that and so ingenious is that it's realistic. I can't relate to Eddie the Eagle. I can't relate to John Nash, who gets his award at the end. I can't relate to Rocky or Remember the Titans, because I'll probably never be on a winning team. It may be no surprise to you that life is full of failures. And it's kind of fun and cathartic to watch fictional characters fail before us. I get tired of seeing the superheroes win at the end. I get tired of everything being wrapped up in a nice bow. I get tired of all loose ends being perfectly packaged and delivered so that it's a complete set. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a self-contained story, but I also enjoy a bit of ambiguity. And what I like also about Christopher Guest's characters kind of losing at the end is that it kind of tells you that the joke is going on. The joke is still out there, still happening. And that's made most clear with Cookie and Jerry Fleck when they're trying to revive their horrible musical abilities. Because those endings tell us that they're still doing their thing out there. The story has not ended. It's still continuing on. And we can rest assured that funny things are still happening out there in the world. But again, also, it's relatable. I like that I don't have to feel so bad about myself if I don't get the number of views on a video that I wanted. Or that, I like that even fictional characters can fail. Because I fail in ways every single day. But the characters almost always get back up and keep going. And that's where the heart is. That's where the challenge is, if you will. Look at Mickey from A Mighty Wind.
I've never been in better headspace.
So Christopher Guest movies are very relatable and they're cathartic in those ways. And also, they're characters. They're not real. And I think our society has totally lost track of fiction versus nonfiction. And so that's what's beautiful about writing a script or writing a novel. You could do whatever the hell you want. By definition, cannot ever act outside a character. Everything your character does is going to be within character. Now, are there some horrible character decisions that I've seen in movies? Of course there are, where they don't line up with the character. But that's because of my own preconceived idea of what this character should or should not do. So if you haven't yet, in honor of Catherine O'Hara, go back and watch A Mighty Wind, Waiting for Guffman, which is my personal favorite, and Best in Show. I know they just came out with Spinal Tap 2, which I absolutely loved. I know I didn't mention For Your Consideration. I don't think I ever really got through that one. That one wasn't great. But I want to see another trilogy of movies from Christopher Guest. But if anybody out there knows Christopher Guest, and you can drop a little note in his inbox, but tell him I think there's some high potential for making a mockumentary about struggling YouTubers. I'm not suggesting that I be in it. I'm just saying that could be a really funny highbrow concept. If you haven't yet, go ahead and check out my tribute song that I wrote for Catherine O'Hara. I want to see if you could get through it without crying, because I know I definitely could not do that. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Look at Mickey from A Mighty Wind.